So, your child might now be at the stage where they're thinking about their options moving forward, and one of those options could be university. You might be thinking, oh my goodness, university is expensive. So, while they're making a decision, it's important that you really look at the facts before you help them to make a decision. Yes, it's true that if you have a degree, you're far more likely to be earning more money than if you don't have a degree during the course of your career, and that salary is much more likely to increase faster than if you don't have a degree over the years that you're working. It's also true that you're going to leave university with a debt of anything between £30,000 to £50,000. However, that figure is really a meaningless figure, because what you really need to think about is the amount of money you actually have to pay back, which will be a different figure to the amount you borrow because of tuition fees, maintenance fees, and also interest that you have to pay. So what you need to be aware of is, from your child's point of view, or your point of view, you don't have to pay any money up front to go to university, because you will get a loan for your tuition fees and also a maintenance loan as well for your living costs. And then you only need to start paying money back once your child is earning just over £27,000. And you only pay back 9% of whatever you earn over that figure. So what that means is, if your child is earning, let's say, £35,000 a year, they're going to be paying back roughly just under £60 a month. If they're earning less than £27,000 a year, they pay back nothing. If they're earning more than 27 grand, and perhaps then later on in life they work part-time because perhaps they've started a family or something like that, and therefore their salary drops to below 27 grand, then they are paying back nothing at all. And then also, after 30 years, if they've not paid off the whole loan by then, the whole debt or the remaining debt gets wiped away, and then you don't have to pay a thing. So those are just a few of the facts that you need to consider when you're making a choice. And it's really important that you really think about, or your child thinks about, what they're wanting to do in the future. Does what they want to do in the future require a degree or a higher level qualification? And therefore think about what they need to do in order to get there. However, it's also important to remember that you don't need to go to university full-time to get a degree, because you can do a degree apprenticeship, which means that you're working, you get paid, and your employer sends you to university as part of your training, and at the end of the 4 to 6 years, or whatever it might be, you still have a degree, but you don't have the debt. In fact, you've got money in the bank, hopefully, because you've been earning money. So there are different ways, or there is a different way that you can get a degree rather than going to university full-time. So it's important to consider that as well. From your point of view as a parent, the other thing to consider is the amount of money you need to support your child whilst they're at university, which is something that is often not really talked about, and it can have an impact on your own finances, especially if you've got more than one child at university at the same time. So you will need to save and maybe put some money aside for that. So that's really important to consider as well. At the end of the day, is university worth it? Only you can decide, but only after you consider the facts and what you need to know before you make a well-informed decision. So there's just a few things to consider if you're thinking about supporting your child through university.